Good morning, friends. I just treated myself to a present, a new welcome mat, even though nobody is coming to my house these days except for you. So, we'll go on in for today's STEM class with Millie. And as you can see, the prince is very comfortable. You want to say hello to the boys and girls, Spence? He's very funny whenever the camera comes out. It's like he expects us to catch him doing something bad. It's probably because we videotape him whenever he's naughty. Hello, Millie. Say hi to the boys and girls. You didn't want to come out the last class because it was too early in the morning for you. She yawned at me and then turned around and went back to bed. But she's awake today. And there's a lot of stuff for her to explore today. I know that Miss Laura and Miss Linda are both doing things with robots. So I went up and I pulled out one of my favorite robot books. Let's see what Millie's investigating. Here, show them what we got, kid. We've got some chopsticks. We've got some tape, some screws, and some nails. Here, what do we have over here? We've got some cardboard. What's this thing, Millie? Here, look. What's over here? We've got a big piece of styrofoam. And I've got my toolbox out. And we're going to do a little with construction. Miss Laura's doing some things with building with recyclable materials. I am going to focus on how we get those recycled things to attach and stick together. So we did a unit like that last year in STEM class, but everybody's a year older now, so we can go and we can learn new strategies. So Millie is currently in my sleeve. I don't know if you can see her. You know how she likes to do that. Come out and say hi, you weirdo. All right, so we're going to get started with our book. We've got Hello Robots by Bob Staake. Let me just create a little bit more room. She's in my sleeve. She's going to probably... Oh, there she goes. Yep, where are you going to go? Who knows? Maybe she'll help me turn the page. Hello Robots. And there they are, our 4 stars of the show. Yes, pardon me. All right. Hello, robots. Metal robots. Smiling bolt to bolt. Blip's the one who cooks our meals. Zinc can fix things out of steel. Blip, he keeps our yard so green. And Zip, he simply loves to clean. Blink is baking honey bread. Zinc repairs a tractor tread. Blip, he mows the lawn and more. Zip mops up the kitchen floor. Blink, he cooks a pot of stew. Zinc repairs a clock or two. Blip, he plants a lemon tree. Zip dusts off the wood TV. Hello, robots, metal robots, smiling bolt to bolt. Sunny skies and tea to sip. Robots go outside with Blip. Lots of backyard work to do. A robot's job is never through. Blink, he bakes an apple pie. Zinc repairs a birdhouse high. Blip, he rakes a mound of grass. Zip shines up the window glass. Hello, robots, metal robots smiling bolt to bolt. Uh-oh. Skies begin to darken gray. Clouds block out the sunny day. Plip, plop, plip, plop. Raindrops fall, drenching robots one and all. And we know metal, when it gets wet, uh-oh, I hope they don't get rusty. Rain gets on the robots for soaking buttons, lights, and more. When it comes to robot brains, nothing's worse for them than rain. Right? We don't want to get any of our electronics wet. Uh-oh. Clouds fly off, and who's amazed? 4 zapped robots looking dazed. Back to work, more stuff to do. A robot's job is never through. They don't look too happy, though. Uh-oh. Blink, he bakes a birdhouse high. Zinc repairs the apple pie. Blip, he rakes the window glass. And Zip shines up the mound of grass. Uh-oh, everybody's all mixed up. Blink, he cooks a clock or two. Zinc repairs a pot of stew. Blip, he plants a wood TV. And Zip dusts off the lemon tree. Uh-oh, robots, metal robots, frowning bolt to bolt. Something's wrong. Something's quirky. These robot brains don't seem too perky. Maybe if their heads they switch, that would fix that awful glitch. Blink and Zinc pop off their heads. Warning lights, they flash bright red. Blip and Zip, they do it too. They swap their heads in switcheroo. Will the problem now be fixed? With the robots' heads all mixed? Blink cooks plump tomatoes ripe. Zinc repairs a leaky pipe. Blip trims back the lilac bush. Zip, he dusts by sneezing. Swoosh! Blink wheels out a chocolate tart. Zinc repairs the serving cart. Blip brings tulips in a pot. Zip cleans up that stubborn spot. Hello, robots, metal robots, smiling bolt to bolt. So even though they had a little bit of trouble, they found a way to improvise. They found a way to make it work. And that's what we're going to do today with some construction activities, some actual building and tool use. So I know your parents right now are thinking, is that Miss Amy crazy? And you can tell them, no, she lets us use tools in the STEM lab. So now I know not everybody is all the same age. We've got some little kids, we've got some big kids, but part of technology use is learning how to use tools. So I have my toolbox, and today we're going to talk about this tool, if anybody knows what that is, a hammer. We're going to talk about this tool, which is a screwdriver. We're going to talk about this tool, which is a scissor. And this last one is a cousin of a hammer. That's called a mallet. Okay? So we're going to start with probably easiest to hardest. And I know everybody's got these at their house, or at least I hope, right? So these are called scissors. They open and close. They're a simple machine, super cool. The easiest way to build using scissors is something called notch and groove construction. So what you do is you cut a notch. You don't want to go all the way through your cardboard. You just want to go a little bit. And then you make a couple of notches and grooves, right? We cut the grooves in. And then you just slide your pieces together. I've gone ahead and I've done a few of these ahead of time. But they make kids' toys that use this notch and groove construction. But if your house is anything like mine and you're getting everything delivered, you might be drowning in cardboard. So a good way to recycle, which is good for the earth and also be creative, is you can build things with notch and groove construction. See how that all fits together? Puzzles work in a similar way. So if you have very small children and they can manage a scissor and you've got some cardboard, you can make your own building materials out of notch and groove construction. Even older kids could have fun doing this. All right, so we'll put that aside. We'll move on to numero dos, which we're going to talk about. Put our scissor away. And I'm going to bring out my next two tools. We're going to do the mallet and the hammer. Now, this is a big adult hammer. You probably have a big adult hammer in your house, and mommy and daddy might say, oh, I don't know, that might be a little too heavy. If that's the case, look in your kitchen tool drawer. You might have a mallet. This is my mallet that I normally use for like smashing something if I'm doing baking or pounding meat or whatever. But if you're a small kid and you have small hands, you might want to try your kitchen mallet because it's the same thing that we're going to do. For this, we're going to use some styrofoam. And again, if you're anything like me and you're ordering a lot of stuff in, you're getting a lot of packing material. So I thought, oh, we'll use this for our hammering practice. Now, when we're at school, I usually use golf tees with styrofoam or simple nails, depending on how big or little the kids are. But I don't golf, so I don't have golf tees at home. There goes Millie, knocking my drink over. I don't have golf tees at my house because we don't golf. But what I do have a ton of are chopsticks. Or as my good friend Meredith used to say, she's now in 8th grade, Chinese eating sticks. So what I did was I took my chopstick and I cracked it in half. And then just because I'm fancy, I took my scissor and trimmed off the point. A grown-up can do that. It's not really super necessary as long as you don't, put that end in your mouth or anything. And then I hold it and I just practice hammering. So I can make designs and patterns. Oh, look who's going to come and check it out. You checking it out? What do you make of that? When we have Japanese food, she usually steals the chopsticks. So I'm curious to see what she'll do. Yes, ma'am. What are you doing? I'm working. See, look, there she is. Chewing on the chopstick. She's helping. Thank you, ma'am. All right, so you cut your chopsticks, and then you just use them to bang. You can bang with your mallet that you might find in your kitchen. Maybe you have a child's tool set. You can even bang with your hammer. Now, if you have very brave parents and they think that you are big enough, you might want to practice using a real nail. So you could do this with golf tees or chopsticks or real nails, and you just hammer them in. It's a little bit noisy, but everybody likes to make some noise, right? This might be something to do on a day when you need to be outside for a little bit. So you practice your hammering. So you get it? And then this is a box. It's got a hollow center, so all of my stuff is going down to the middle. So we'll put away our hammer, and we'll put away our mallet. And I'll take my styrofoam, because not everybody has styrofoam. But I'll show you the last thing with our final tool, which is this tool right here. Of course, I grabbed the wrong one. The screwdriver. And everybody learned how to use a screwdriver last year. So if you are a leaping lizard or if you're a high top or in pre-K, you learned how to use this tool last year with me. So let me show your parents a trick, because I'm not a carpenter. I don't have a lot of wood laying around my house, but I do have a lot of cardboard. So all I did was I cut it so it was the same size, banded it together with some masking tape, and now I have a thick piece which is not as hard as wood, so it's a little bit easier for our preschool friends. But it also is stuff that we all have laying around. So we're going to take our screw, and you can see, I'll show you the difference. A nail, and we talked about this last year in STEM too. A nail has, I don't really have fingertips anymore. A nail has a flat head and a straight body and a point. And that's meant to be used with a hammer. It gets banged into place. But a screw has a head, and it has a notched head. This one has a cross notch, but then there's other ones that just have one. And it has a threaded shaft and a point. And these are designed to screw in. So what you do is you take your screw, you poke it. That's the other nice thing about the cardboard. It'll hold it for you. And you hold it tight. You put your screwdriver into the notch and you just twist. And we learned a little mnemonic device. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. So we practiced screwing into cardboard last year, the bigger kids. And the littlest ones screwed into their styrofoam. So if you have styrofoam, you can use your screwdriver with that too. If you don't have styrofoam, you can use your hammer and nail and mallets with this stuff too. So here's my nail. I'll pick up my hammer now as I make a mess. And I can tap and practice like that. Now, obviously, you can't go doing this by yourself. You need a grown-up to supervise you, the same way that I used to watch you and your teachers used to watch you in the STEM lab. But if you have parents who are interested in creating some DIY knowledge, right? Tool use is part of technology. It's good to know how to do things yourself and fix things around the house. My only suggestion to grown-ups is make sure that you make the stack of cardboard quite thick, because if the nail or the screw is bigger, it's going to poke out the back, and we don't want that. Especially if you're doing it inside. You don't want anybody nailing or screwing anything to your floor or your furniture. That would be bad. So boys and girls, before you try this, you need to get permission from a grown-up. But this way you can use your hand tools. You can use your screwdriver. You can use your mallet and your hammer. And what was the other one? And your scissor to help build your recycled robots that I know Miss Laura and Linda are working on today. So that's my 2 cents. I think the rodent is somewhere. Millie!
Last I saw she went that way.
Millie Mills!
Millie?
She's hiding under the couch, I think. Let's see if we can find her. Either that or she's gone away.
I don't think she went upstairs.
All right, Millie. So, my friends, I will see you soon. I miss you. I love you. Millie is not having anything. We'll check in my yarn cabinet, but I don't think she's in there.
Actually, she might be.
You never know. Sometimes she ducks in there.
Yep.
Oh! Hello, goofball. Come say goodbye.
Come here.
Give him a boop. Boop. Spence, give him a boop. Boop. See ya.